let me just welcome you back to this dashboard building. So where I stopped the previous, okay, let me just show. This is the data set we are working with. We've cleaned it, I've put it inside the table, and I've actually, you can see now that there's a filter. Like based on the previous video, I've explained everything all about that. Then we try to create a pivot table one, which is this from that particular data set, whereby we work with the gender. Like our target is bike purchase or bike share. So we worked like just checking the incomes of gender per bike share or bike purchase. That is how both gender, females and males, how they are able to respond to the buying of the bike. And the second pivot table is all about the age bracket, whereby I try to explain that if we make our visualization to cover all the age, it's going to be clumsy and it's not going to give effective insight. But I just have to categorize them into three, and yours can be more than that. So like young age, middle age, and we have old. And with this we can easily see that okay, people that tend to buy this particular bikes are the middle age, the young tend not to buy, and the old also. But people that respond to the buying that are old, they are more than people that are young. And our center audience is now middle age, so we can easily see it from the trend of the data. Then the pivot table three, we works on the distance, community distance. That is, if actually people want to ride bicycle, you can see the range of the distance. That is the mile. We have 0 to 1 mile, 1 to 2, 2 to 5, we have 5 to 10, and more than 10. So you will see from this visualization that people that tend to buy these bikes are people that are in the that their distance are not really far. That's like 0 to 1 mile. So I think people of other long distance, maybe they are considering not to take a bike, or they want maybe something more convenient than that. So the target audience here is just like 0 to 1 mile. So these are just like the brief explanation or brief recaps of the first video. So now to dashboard building. What is dashboard building? Dashboard building is just like connecting them. Instead of putting them in different sheets, we want to place everything in a single sheet, whereby we can connect them and you can click on one to really take effect in the other. So now I will copy all this my pivot table into, so clicking on this, you can use on Mac we use Command C, which is used for copy, and on Windows you can use Control C, Control plus C. So if I click on Control copy now, so I can, let me just place it here. So let me, so this is the first one, this pivot table one, and I'm going to copy this also. This pivot table 2. So let me copy the third one, which is this. So I'm going to put that here. So putting everything together here, I can just bring them. Okay, I want to bring everything together. I want to bring everything together, so I can easily enlarge this to cover this. So this is just like the data. Oh, it's not even, so we can just make it, and there's a way you can align them like putting them together. Let me reduce the view so that oh, it's not even too oh, I think this is kind of too small, but I'm just trying to okay, let me still work with okay. I think this is better. So these are just like the insight from the whole data set. So this is income per bike, this age range, and this community distance. So we can actually rename it. I don't rename mine. You can even write something at maybe like the x-axis. There's a way you can rename the x-axis, horizontal, title. You can change it just like the way I use income bike income per bike share. So you can name it what it you know that here we are working with age bracket, then here also we are working with community distance. So we can just so when you are building dashboard you just bring them together. Then another thing I'm going to do is click on here to highlight everything just like the way we keep working with it in when we start cleaning the data. So when I click on this, let me click on home, then click on data, 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 is it data? Okay, it's view, not data. So after highlighting everything, you click on view. When you click on view, you know these are grid lines, so you can just uncheck the grid line. When you click on grid line, when you uncheck grid line, and also note that my excel is Microsoft Excel 365, so it may not really the same as the interface of yours. So just know that what you are looking for is grid line. So you can or probably google how you can navigate your way getting it using your own fashion, maybe 2019, 2016, or any kind of version. So when you remove the grid line, if I click on here now, you see that everything is plain. There is nothing here anymore. So now I can just let me just click this place. Okay, let me just okay, then after this I'm going to put the color inside of it. So I can just put maybe let me use this. No, no, I think it's from here. Okay, perfect. So now I've put in like I've added a color here on the top here, so you can easily write the title of what you are building a dashboard on. You can actually pick another color, but I just pick this just because it's part of what I use there. And you can pick blue too. This I think this blue. You can also like you can just play or mess around any kind of color you just like to use. So when you use that, then the next thing is writing. Okay, the title of, let me call it bike share or bike purchase. So now I can reduce, I can increase. Okay, let me increase this. Oh, so I think I have to. Okay, let me write it here. Bike share. So let me just increase it now. Okay, let me just centralize it. uh, I want to. So I'm trying to make it. So this is the title of our, uh, and you can actually make it to be, or probably make it. Let me. I want to make it to be bigger. Let me add. Okay. Oh, it's not changing. I want to change the size of this, but I think it's not changing. So the next thing to do is to put slicer. And I also, another limitation on this my Microsoft 365, I don't know why. I tried to create slicer when I was practicing this before I actually make the video, but it's not connecting, or it's not giving me. So once I click on the here, insert, I should be able to click on this pivot table again, but now it's preventing me not to do anything here. So the next thing that just remain on this dashboard is to create a filter whereby we can control everything inside this, and we can connect everything together. So I would try to show it using a pivot table, but I will not be able to do that here. So what I'm trying to say about slicer is, okay, in this kind of scenario I can do something like this. Let me just click on here, and okay, let me click on this. You see pivot table. Once I click on pivot table, you will see insert slicer, and if I click on here, if I click on insert, you see that it's not giving me what I want. I try all I could do on this particular Microsoft 365. I don't know why, and I don't know why is and I'm thinking of probably getting, but it's just like on Mac OS here. I have to buy it, and like I cannot get it without buying it, and I think the amount is kind of, so that's why I don't want to get it now. So what I will just try to show us, so that we can try to implement it on our own. If our own Microsoft Excel, I'm so sure it's going to allow us to do it, but I don't know why this is doing like this. So now I'll just, you just click on, I will click on there just to show us what I'm trying to explain. So if you click on okay, pivot table here, you will see something. Okay, let me click on pivot table. You see insert slicer, so we can see it here, and at times it can show pivot table analyzer, or yeah, it should be analyzer. So you, once you click on it, it's going to show something insert slicer. So if I click on it, I can easily, here I can probably pick marital status here. So if I click on marital status here, you see what it shows. This is my slicer, and I can click here. If I click on settings, Okay, you will see when I click on settings, I'm able to see pivot table connection. So on that dashboard, initially this is what I am expected to see. That is, I should be able to connect my slicer with my entire dashboard, so that when anytime I click on anything I want to filter my data with, is going to automatically control everything. So now let me just prove that by using this example. So I will just click on, I'm clicking on here, I'm clicking on here. So now, okay, it's already clicked sef. Okay, let me, now it's being clicked. So if I click on marital status now, you will see it control this. So married, that is the response of married towards, like, we have married people, we have single people. So we can easily check for the rate of males and females that are married, and their incomes and their response to buy purchase. So if I click on married now, you will see we can just take note of what we saw. Then if I click on single, so let me click on single, we can see the, okay, let me just see, this is clicking on single now, single. So clicking on single, we can see this is the result we achieve. Then if I click on married, we see that there's a change in this, and we have more male that are single that respond to bike purchase or bike share. So I think we have more single than married. So what I'm actually trying to do, like, this kind of slicer should be, let me go to my dashboard. So this kind of slicer need to be placed here. Then probably I can filter with marital status, I can filter with a lot of, like, I can just decided to pick maybe three or two or four out of those ones that we've not used in the chart. So picking them, I will just place them here, then try to connect this particular sheet, this, and connect this. So immediately I click on dem, they are going to take effect on all dis particular chart that I have already built. So that's just all about slicer, and that's what make it more interactive. But I don't know why it's not working here. So I will probably use that should be an assignment, but I'm going to reach out to us on how we can go about it. So thanks for listening.